Hi guys, and welcome back to another Let's Build episode. So last time we got started on some lower class housing in the valley, and in this episode we're going to continue that on, making it feel really cramped together, and so we can get an idea of the back streets so we can then join this up to the main part of Lordsport. Now if you're new to the channel at all, we do a lot of tutorials and time lapses, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also guys, if you're new to this series, I'll leave a link in the card above to the Let's Build Lordsport series as well as the full Let's Build Pataria series. Anyway, let's get into building. So continuing on from where we had the first set of lower class housing, I wanted to build them right up to the water's edge. Of course, this is not very nice water, but this is where the sewage and things like that are going to collect. There's actually a hole in the wall as well where it started to seep through, because they would obviously need to get rid of the water somehow. And I've also on the other side stained the water a little bit with lots of brown blocks around, because you guys obviously need to know that. So we have got that going all the way down. One of the suggestions from you guys was to actually put in puddles as well using stairs. So this was awesome actually, this is a really good idea, and I do put that in a little bit later on. But again, using the angled houses, going with lots of wood and trying to come up with these kind of different mixes of materials. In this case I decided to put in acacia wood, so the first time I think I've almost ever used acacia wood in Minecraft, because it's one of my least favourite blocks. But actually with these lower class housing, or houses, I'm actually trying to push myself a little bit and go, okay, what are uncommon blocks to put together? And can I make them work, especially in the lower class housing where it doesn't have to look, you know, perfect and nice and smooth, instead it actually should look a little bit rough. So yeah, there's a couple blocks that really work with this. The acacia planks, I think again the hardened clay, which I was using with the jungle planks, works really well, and the actual granite. So using the granite block, that works really nicely to make it look quite worn, almost like the hardened clay is actually worn away. So it works really well with either acacia or actually with the jungle. I actually think it looks a little bit better with acacia, surprisingly. So this one, I actually had some issues with the recording software. It decided to break, like Minecraft literally crashed, so I actually lost it. So it's just the foundation that's on there. I wanted to again build this one right up to the wall and really squeeze this in. So there's actually a gap between these two houses, which then leads to this little area. And actually in there, I've gone crazy with like a stairwell. So there's these crazy stairs that are all braced against the city walls, and it looks completely mad. I love it. It's exactly what I'm gonna want from this, where you just go into this small little area and it's just filled with ways to get to all these different rooms in these main houses, because of course these houses are more like apartments or flats more than actual full houses that people would just be in. So this time using darker materials as well. I wanted to go with a really dark one, and again this is me trying to push what I've used before, the block types. So I went with almost like really dark brown. So I got dark oak and I got some brown clay, things like that, maybe even some brown concrete as well in there. I wanted to actually use those blocks to really contrast against the spruce wood, so I was trying to go for, again, something slightly different. But I really like the big window that comes off the front of this one. I think it looks really good, and this is all going down, sloping down again, and it's going to that kind of watery bit. So for the next bit, where we've got the main path going down into the lower class kind of area of Eastpoint, I then wanted to put a stone wall on one side. And what we haven't really got is a pub or anything. So I was like, well, actually, yeah, there's still going to be, you know, certain areas. So we're going to have a cheap pub down here. And you can imagine, like the arena. If you go into the arena and you've got some bad seats, you can't afford lots of things. This is kind of where you would go. So it just made sense to have this off of that main walkway going down for those lower class people that still can go and see the games but want to get there. And I decided to go with green. But what I decided to do with the green is make it look a little bit noisier and a bit messier. So I was trying to then tweak the colours rather than what I've used before with the greens. And I actually think it looks quite good, but it's using the same kind of mix of the lime and green kind of clays, and also concrete powder as well. Concrete powder looks really good to give it a bit of noise and make it look like it's been kind of like scratched up. It looks quite good. So I'm really happy with how this one has kind of like turned out. By the way guys, if you've got any suggestions for what this pub is called, that's your challenge for this week. So come up with a name for the pub itself. So here is the finished part of this build for this episode. I love the path going down into it now. I think actually using the stone wall has kind of like framed it and added some more texture in. Got loads and loads of like shirts and cloth all hanging up to dry in here. It's kind of like almost like a little courtyard area here where we've got the pub. So guys, give me your suggestions in the comments section. What is this pub called? That is your challenge for this week, and I'll kind of like announce it next week, what you guys have come up with. But loving this so far, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.